Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to today's presentations about post-pandemic operations and supply chain strategy. I'm your speaker, Dr. Jenny J. Chan. Before I start, I'll give you some brief introductions about myself. I'm currently an associate professor of operations and supply chain management at Cleveland State University. I received my PhD from Purdue University in operations management. Prior to joining academics, I have worked in the industry implementing supply chain solutions for semiconductors in Taiwan, which includes Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, currently the world's largest contract chip manufacturer, accounting for more than 50% of the market share. In terms of research, I conduct research in optimizations, pricing, and inventory management, and also supply chain transparency or sustainability. For teaching, I do business analytics teachings and global operations management. Besides my service and teaching research at university, I also advises medical centers and manufacturing company in the region. All right, so before we go into the detail, I would like to give you a brief idea about what I covered today, the agenda. So I will talk briefly about the uncertainties that we are experiencing during the pandemic, and I'll talk about the post-pandemic reality, what to expect, and then bring in the concept of supply chains agility and smart operations. From there, I will talk about the trade-offs between efficiency and flexibility. Then I'll get into more details about what are the general misconceptions and realities about smart operations, and finally give you kind of step-by-step things that you may do to prepare yourself for the post-pandemic supply chains and so on. All right, so let's get started. To begin with, I think we are all living through this pandemic right now, and what we are experiencing is much greater uncertainty than before. It's on the demand side, supply sides, and also on both sides got affected by different factors as well. So here are a short list of things that we have observed so far. Demand side, high market volatilities, and because of changing consumer behavior. On the supply side, we have shortage in labor forces and fluctuations, in commodity prices, and then so on. And what to make things even tougher for us to manage our supply chain is because there are different players, our factors coming into influencing, our decisions. So among them, different government responses, I mean, it seems, between the Biden and the Trump administrations, how they handle the pandemics were quite different. And other things, we have seen, recently become a theme is sustainability issues, along with the cyber attacks happening during the past few weeks, like cyber attacks on the Colonial pipelines, affecting the gas availability, and also the meat packers facilities and so on. For this, I actually have my personal comments regarding how you may better deal with supply side disruptions, two pieces of media coverage that I recently have. So I provide a short descriptions, where you may click upon. I won't cover too much of a detail, but I'll touch upon some of the issues later on. So we have all know what have been happening right now, but what about post-pandemic? Are we going to expect the same level of uncertainty, greater or lower? So these 4 charts compiled by McKinsey, the consulting firms, give us some good idea about what to expect. What we should expect is that, yeah, uncertainties are not going to go away. And it's going to actually become more frequent and severe in terms of supply chains disruptions, or in this case, actually even demand disruption. Why? If you look at, yeah, on the two graphs, what you are seeing is in terms of uncertainties and risk index, you are seeing them for the past 30 years, the amount of uncertainty we're experiencing is trending upward. Yeah, so maybe the last year, the pandemic has caused much greater uncertainty, but by no means that it's going to go away. Yeah, we basically just get expedited. Yeah, maybe get adjusted back a little bit, but from the historical trends, yeah, uncertainty have been creating problems, yeah, for business operations and supply chain management. So that was for the first two, and on the right hand side, it talk about the cyber security issues. As we see, more and more companies are subject to cyber attacks. More than 80% actually, as of this year could be subjected to. And lastly, like the disaster, natural disasters or disease, yeah, these are actually trending upward as well, even for the past 40 years. So all in all, what this four graphs depict is that uncertainty is not going away. Yeah, it may be exaggerated last year because of a pandemic, but that's an ongoing trend, becoming more and more frequent and severe. So companies do have to be prepared for that. All right. In order to counter that, one thing, in supply chain literature that we have been talking about, is supply chain agility, and this is a capability that allow company to quickly adjust their tactics, operations, in its supply chain, so that they can respond or adapt it to changes, opportunity, or threats in the environments like that. So again, this is a broad summary of what agility is about. But how do we actually get to there? One thing that I would like to emphasize upon in this talk is smart operations. And the definitions of smart operation actually it's not quite uniform, but I pick up ones from UPS that I think give a good summary of it. What it says here is a new approach to operational excellence using technologies that instruments processes. Okay, for example, these are like operational technologies, Internet of Things, Industry 4.0, the likes, And the second piece is more like information technology, analyzing informations, both like kind of big data, cognitive type of data in real time. The key here, one thing is real time, so that you'll be able to supercharge not just your supply chain, but actually bring value to your supply chain, make it a value chain. Okay, so here kind of give a brief overview of what the two things are about, related. So this is a typical like efficiency graphs, like trade-off between efficiency and flexibility on the horizontal axis. So if you want high efficiency, that you're going to have sacrifice upon your flexibility. On the other hand, if you shoot for flexibility, high flexibility, then you cannot really have a high efficiency on the other hand. So the picture talk about like, there's actually some quick wins. If your company haven't really fine-tuned or have done any improvement projects for loans, there are actually some quick wins that you can do from my experience, doing some data-driven analysis, optimization. Those are low-hanging fruits that could get you to cost efficient. And then, from there, you just kind of make a trade-off, see whether this is the right position you would like to be at. In the pandemic, you may want to be a little bit more resilient, having more flexibility at a cost of efficiency. And this is where like kind of agility start coming into place. If you want to actually like go beyond this trade-off, so let's say you want both, not really having a trade-off between the two, then what's happening is you would need some advanced technologies, either in operational technologies or information technology that take you to the next frontier. And again, from there, it depends on how you like to shape your company. It could be efficient and resilient, or like kind of be more agile, or in between all around. And again, it's it can vary from product to product, product groups to product groups, and then so on. Okay, so on this slide, I would talk briefly about the misconceptions people might have about like implementing smart operations. So what typically people would perceive this is that it's a one size fit all, it's all or nothing type of implementation. So it comes with huge costs, long implementation lead times, and involve all the facilities and every single products process that you have. But reality is that you've got to be prioritizing this type of improvement. You don't do it all at once. So typically the cost for upfronts, pilot runs, will be kind of small to moderate, to give you an idea, a sense of how costly this would be. And so it takes short time to actually develop prototypes and proof of concepts. From my experience as well, developing some optimization models, which could be quick, in a matter of weeks, or months at most, for getting really an idea whether it will work for you or not. And finally, you identify segments, the market sectors are key facilities, and doing it in terms of different phases, instead of all at once. Okay. So so what do we do? I mean, the last 3 slides, I'll talk about like 3 steps that would bring you up there. And so step number 1, from supply to value chains. How do you do that? Your operations or supply chain must be driven by the right kind of demand. What do I mean by that? The first thing you need to have is some visibility into your supply chain. Okay, it does not just your supply part of it or in-house operation manufacturing. One key thing is really knowing what your demands are. Okay, especially during the pandemics, a lot of customers change their demand patterns. Okay, different consumer behaviors and so on. So really know your demand better. Are they still just looking for low cost? Are they caring more about how resilient? Do they want to pay premium for on time and level of security of the products, its availabilities and so on. So so here are kind of like some details about visibility. Number 1, identify what are there any additional external opportunities or threats through some analytics, descriptive analytics. And then look at insights, your strengths and weakness through techniques like KPI, key performance index dashboard, or value stream mapping, this type of Lean Six Sigma tools. And lastly, again, before we go into our operations, make sure you identify and segment your consumer, your market, so know how to better, on the second step, align your operation to deliver exactly what your customer wants. Because efficiency cannot be well justified unless you deliver exactly what your customer wants. And I bring that up to the lab. All right, and then that can be done through classification, clustering, machine learning type of techniques. The next steps now, if you have better understanding, okay, what do your customer really wants? Do they want to pay premium for certain things? And then you make money more in certain regards and losing money in certain type of customers. Once you know that, you kind of targeting, what do you want, and then align your operation. So what you want to be is to become a critical supplier for your key customers. Okay, really identify your demand, become a critical suppliers. So by providing the value, and that's why like the value chains comes in, not just simply supply chain, because supply, if you're just supplying, it seems like you are like just become a commodity type of supply. You want to bring values that other supply cannot mimic, easily mimic. And for that, you really need to know and then amplify and then bundle different type of services into your products. Maybe that's one way to achieve it. And again, we already talked about that. Yeah, the way that you can do is through information technology, like optimization or operational technology as well. All right, and the OT part, I would lead that toward to my colleagues in engineering or some experts in magnets. I can share some information, regarding what I've done in optimization. One things, have seen, vividly, back in past projects are worker scheduling type of projects or machine scheduling. Those things allow you to really do a lot of what we call scenario and sensitivity analysis. For example, in case that you don't have enough workers showed up on a day to perform what you need, how would you better utilize your existing workforce available that day to not delay certain important or critical customer orders. And also in the capacity building scenario, what you can possibly utilize that to do is that in case you need to ramp up your productions by say certain percentage, how many workers additionally you would need. So that type of what if analysis that can be done by optimizations, by twisting the parameters so that allows you to better assess your current capability and give you a better idea how resilient you are in terms of withstanding. So would you do some cross trainings? How would that help you in a time when you have the shortage in labor and so on? So lastly, you can do here is also using analytics to analyze your procurements, especially the tail type of procurements. They are not done that efficiently in the past. Lastly, what I would like to emphasize, is collaborative relationships. This is probably a little bit beyond for a small and medium-sized business. But if you can, there's a big if, if you can become a critical supplier, what you can possibly do is really work with your customers. Sometimes your customers are big customers. If it's B2B, not just B2C, you might ask for their help to share information for better forecasting and planning for production and so on. And don't forget about your own critical suppliers as well. Sometimes you don't want to really being put into risk of some supplier going down the water and then not be able to. So really we maintain a collaborative supply chain relationships with your partners. All right. So with that, I would like to conclude my presentation here. Feel free to reach out to me or the center should you have any questions. Thank you for attending and listen to the talk.